Hello and welcome to Duckling Open number 124. I am Kuro and I welcome you to our monthly Diamond tournament, Diamond and below. And we are currently loading into the first of our games. Let's go. Now let me make sure I actually have everything ready because I have not observed for a while, but here we are on Oceanborn in the first round of our tournament, and we are looking at the two of our players. We have the yellow player, the yellow Zerg representing Bing Bong Exports. It is... yeah, that's a good question. Ibiri? 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 Ibiri. And across the map, we have our Terran player representing... oh, true, I didn't see the clan. I think it's just his own clan tag. It is a blue Terran from Germany. It is Captain Fish. So yeah, welcome to our monthly Diamond tournament. As I said, this tournament is open to all players who have finished Diamond and below in current and past 3 seasons. So if you are in that range, then check maybe if you can sign up. You do need a set number of games to make sure that everybody is on the same level. But other than that, there are not many limitations really. So I see the chat is asking about the event that's happening later today. We don't know how long it will take, because not only are there matches in the SC2 safe house, but there will also be like breaks between the matches with like fun activities that were like goals on Macherino. So not exactly sure how long it will take, but I hope you can tune in. Meanwhile, the two of our players are starting rather standard today. We don't have any choices to start the tournament. And I think 2 out of ordinary. Our Terran going for the Rax expand, I believe it was. The Reaper is going across the map. And yeah, we're just gonna macro up from here. Nicely to harassment on the drone, but the third base has already gone down, so Captain Fish was not in time to deny it. Ooh, actually gets 1 drone. That's a really nice catch there with the Reaper, and the Reaper should be able to escape, maybe even taking a link down. It's very close. I mean, the Reaper is also very low, so he has to be careful about that Queen, but 1 drone for the Scouting Reaper is still pretty nice. The downside is, of course, that Captain Fish did not go into the main base, so he doesn't know exactly what is happening. But currently there is nothing he should be scared of. Meanwhile, Captain Fish getting his 1-1-1, getting his 3rd base on the way. The Reaper once again dives in, but the Queens are there to protect the base, so I don't think he will be able to get anything. Ooh, one of these Queens is really intense on getting the Reaper. And we have a Roach Warren on the way from Ibiri. I have to decide how to pronounce that name. This is the first time I see this player, and I mean that's cool. That's why I wanted to cast this series to meet some of the newer players in our tournament. I believe Captain Fish is playing in our events for the 2nd time right now. So, oh, I didn't remove the Lagos mod. Oh, don't worry about it. I will do that between the games. I knew something was not quite right. Oh well. We have a bit of a harassment with these 2 Hellions from Captain Fish. The Queens are there to protect. Unfortunately, the Zerg loses a tumor, but no big deal there. The Overlord does scout the Cloak Banshee though. And I do wonder if that is the plan, or if that's something that Captain Fish wants to cancel later, but no, I do think he is committing to that Cloak Banshee. But scouting that, Iberi should be able to prepare. He does have a lair on the way, so I guess he will have overseers, maybe? But he's not getting any spores down, and that is risky. I mean, he is focusing on the roach attack. He's pretty much committing into making roaches right now. No, there are some drones as well, so I guess not quite yet. Oh, but that is a lot of Hellions going his way. And the queens alone may not be able to defend this, actually. It looks like they are holding strong. We still have 3 queens left over. 2 of them did fall down, which is unfortunate, but with 3 queens and transfuses, that's enough to stop the Terran for now. But yeah, I'm starting to really worry about Iberi because he has absolutely no detection, and those Clove Banshees will be finishing.
Paused.
As we have a little bit of a pause. And looks like Iberi experiencing some lag. Also, I apologize in advance if I forgot to switch scenes or anything. So chat, if the scenes are not switched, yell at me, because for some reason my stream deck decided not to connect to OBS today, and I noticed it too late, and now I have to click everything. So yeah, that sucks a bit. So we will give Iberi a moment to fix up his connection. I mean, sometimes you get those spikes that just fix themselves after a little while. So let's hope that that's the case for Iberi there. In the meantime, I mean, as we are sitting here together, you can type !B in the chat to find out what our bracket is for today. And actually we have quite a few players today. How many? 4. We have 12 players today. Exactly 12 players. So that's a really nice turnout for our Duckling Open. It's good to see everyone. We have some very familiar names, like people like Droptimus or Legend K have been here for a while. Dave Litos as well. Well, we have a few new names as well, which is very interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. So good Lucas, GG. I mean, sure, but you have to survive to lurkers first, and being a Zerg, I know that that's not always that easy. So let me. For some reason this didn't update. There you go. Okay, it looks like we are about to be ready. Let me quickly switch the scene.
Game resumed.
And we are back into the game. Still have this group of Hellions over here, waiting for the right moment. The queens have not been revealed. That is a bit concerning there for Iberi. He has these 3 queens, but doesn't look like he's making more right now. Ooh, one of them did get isolated, and the Hellion is just dived into the mineral line. There's a lot of drones on this base. Ooh, they line up as well. But it looks like, I mean, 10 drones still fall down, which is a lot, but it could have been so much worse for Iberi right there. And the roaches were able to deal with the Hellions, but at the same time the Banshees are here. Now Iberi is making those overseers, he is making those spores, but is it too late? I mean, it's only 1 Banshee, so it's not that much damage, but still, drones are falling. Oh, 2 Banshees, my bad. The second Banshee comes in. Oh, actually snipes the spore, so there is no detection here. Now the 2 overseers come in, but there is nothing to shoot those Banshees. There's no spore, there are no Hydras, there are only a few queens, so they're not able to contest this. And Iberi is is losing more and more workers. 18 drones total already have fallen. One of the Banshees is damaged, but it can be fixed, and I really decided this is time to attack, but there is a wall, there are tanks as well, there are SCVs being pulled to make sure there are repairs, and yeah, I don't know if this Roach push will be successful for our Zerg player. He's switching to links, he's trying to make some links. I don't think we have a Bane link nest, no we don't, so we cannot like bust this wall or anything, like we just have these roaches and now we will have some links for support, but this may be very tricky. That said, Captain Fish is moving out of his wall, so he may get surrounded. Only one of the tanks is siege, and now Iberia is moving in. The tank gets saved in the medivac, but the army is not able to fight at the same time. This one tank gets biled down, and Iberia is in the natural of Captain Fish. The second tank is being repaired by all of the SCVs, but it also gets biled, and the roaches are still standing strong. The SCVs are falling at the same time. Banshees are still in the base of the Zerg, so there are still more workers falling, but I don't know if Captain Fish has the response to this. Iberia just committed to this attack and he takes the game. GG. GG. That was a very committed attack there from Iberia. Like it looked very dicey for him for a moment where he was losing all these workers in his base, but he just decided to commit to the attack instead, and it just worked for him. Like it's kind of how people always say in ZVZ that mutas win. That roaches win against mutas. It's kind of a similar thing where if you just commit to the attack, like, you know, the Banshees wouldn't be able to defend from all of those roaches, and I feel like it was very unfortunate that Captain Fish moved out of this part of his army exactly at the moment as the roach army was still in front of his base. Yeah, like it was a bit of an unfortunate move out there. So I guess that just shows how important it is to have vision on the map constantly, to keep an eye on your opponent. And especially in TVT, like positioning is everything. TVT, I say, in Terran matchups, basically. Like the tank positionings are a big thing. And we will be having a little bit of a break here as Iberia is making sure that his internet is stable for the next game, so we are giving him a little bit of a time. And let's see if we can maybe look at the bracket in the meantime. Okay, the bracket is working, that's good. Let me quickly fix the score here. There you go. As you can see, we have our 12 players here. We have Tortugavil waiting for his match, as well as Droptimus, Belisarius, and Legend K. Out of this name, Belisarius is the newest one. I don't think I have seen that player before, so it will be interesting to see what they have to offer. Meanwhile, we have Boba going against Alpha, as well as Dave Litos going against Radar. Dave Litos, one of our very active chatters. You can see him a lot as Pikachu. And we also have Battle Pants versus Hollow Ghost. I have seen Battle Pants in the chat before, so hopefully your games are going well, and we'll see how you do this tournament. I saw someone in the chat saying this fish looks German. Yes, Captain Fish is German. That is why the fish is spelled that way. I believe so anyway. And again, if you are interested in playing at tournaments like this yourself, then make sure to follow us on our social. Make sure to follow us to join our Discord to follow the news there. We do 2 monthly tournaments for amateur players. One of them is this one, Duckling Open, which is for Diamond and below. And our other tournament is Masters Swan Open, which is for Masters player, Masters 2 more or less. It's 4.7k MMR, so a little bit over Diamond for those like mid-Masters players who are not quite there to compete with the pros, but are already pretty good. And yeah, we organize those every month, so make sure to keep your eye out and maybe you can join them as well. We also, apart from these amateur tournaments, we also have our weekly open tournament that's open to everyone, no matter what their region or level. So we are still waiting for the technical issues to be resolved, so yeah. How have you been in chat? So we may be sitting here for a little while. I may be throwing this to a break soon, but for now we're just waiting for one of our players to come back. And I am curious, I mean, that's another thing, like maybe because of like the tech issues, like also IBE decided to be just so committed to just, finish the game as soon as possible. Just one committed push. That is definitely possible. But it wasn't like a cheese game or anything. It's just a bit of an all-in, I guess. Okay, so I think I will actually throw it to a break. Wait for one of our players to come back, and as soon as they are back, we will be jumping into game 2. So stay tuned, maybe get a drink, and we will be back soon. welcome back! We have managed to fix our technical issues, it looks like, and we will be jumping into game number 2. As a reminder, this is the first round of Duckling Open number 124, our monthly Diamond tournament. Diamond and below. And we will be jumping into Crimson Court. And spawning in the top right corner of Crimson Core, we have our yellow Zerg player representing Bing Bong Exports. It is Iberi. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue Terran player from Germany. Representing himself, I believe, it is Captain Fish. Reminder, Iberi is currently up 1-0 in the series after a bit of a roach all-in. Kind of ignored the Banshee damage that Captain Fish was doing and just went for it, and it worked out really great for him. Once again, we have a hatch first from our Zerg player. So, hatch first. Racks into expand, I believe, so it doesn't look like either of our players wants to be too cheesy. Again, we had an all-in from Iberi before, but it wasn't like, you know, a cheese. It wasn't like a pull first musclings or anything. It was just a very committed attack, which might have been. I want to say it was a response, but I don't think it was a response to what he scouted. I think that was always the plan, to just go into roaches and just go for it. Yes, as expected, we have that Reaper into expand for our Terran. And we'll just have to see how the things go. It doesn't look like Captain Fish. Yeah, he only now sends that SCV, and I'm not sure if he will be able to stop a third base. Last time, the third base did go down, and Captain Fish was not able to prevent it, and it looks like, yeah, he only sends the SCV scout to check on the natural base, but he doesn't actually block the third base, so Iberi should be able to take this one without issue. That said, the Reaper is on the way, so our Zerg player has to hurry if he wants to take that safe third. Oh, looks like we may get one drone. No, barely saved by that sport trick. Very nicely done from Iberi. The Zerglings are here to defend as well. So nice little bit of micro there from Iberi, but that drone is very damaged. Now there is a queen, so it will be protected, but that was very, very close. Ooh, that creep tumor, that was very ballsy to put it right in front of the Reaper, but the Zerglings are enough to keep him at bay, and yeah, and then at the end, like, that's a very nice opening there for Iberi. Things are going pretty well for him. Meanwhile, across the map, once again we have our command center. Actually, before Starport this time. I believe it was after Starport last game, but I'm not exactly sure on that. It was a very close timing there, so yeah, it looks like once again it will be a 1-1-1 there from Captain Fish with that slightly faster command center. And once again, we have Roach Warren from our Zerg player, so we may be getting into a very similar game to game number 1. I guess a lot depends on how Iberi adjusts to what he saw in the previous game, because again, he got like no detection whatsoever when the Banshees were coming, even though he saw. I mean, his Overlord saw that the Banshees were coming. Whether or not the player has actually seen it, that's another story. And once again, we have that Overlord in the main base of the Terran, looking right over that cloak Banshee that is most likely coming. But yeah, I think we will have a bit of a repeat from previous games. I think Iberi just wants to focus on roach production, and you know, kind of ignores the Banshee threat. Like not getting exposed. Oh, but there I said it. There are the spores coming. This time Ivy should be at least in vision of the Banshees, because once again, like, there's not a lot that shoots up. Like, there are the spores, which would be a great defense, but there are only a few queens which have to rotate between the bases, and other than that, we don't have anything else that shoots up. So Iberia will have to rotate well to make sure those Banshees don't get the damage done, because the Banshees do have quite long range, so they may just sneak in a few drones either way. But first we have this whole squadron of Hellions. But we have enough to defend it this time. We have the queens, we have the roaches already out. And I don't think the Hellions can do any damage this time. Meanwhile, on the Terran side of things, we're getting more racks, we're getting our steam ready, and yeah, looks like we are preparing for a big bio attack. Like, we have 5 racks already, like 2 of them still in production, but yeah, that will be a lot of men with gun coming. The Banshee actually gets chased off by all these queens. It's very nice from Iberia. He does spot the Banshee in time, and it's already quite damaged. Where's the second Banshee? The second Banshee is with the army, so Captain Fish also changing the strategy a little bit. He adds the Banshee to the Hellion army. It will help a little bit with the roaches, but I don't know if it's fast enough to actually have a big impact on that battle. And the first Banshee goes down just barely. The queen survives in the one-on-one battle. And yeah, Iberia is looking pretty good. Even has the time to take the 4th base as the Terran is focusing on the front. And yeah, Iberia looking great. These Hellions really have been, I don't want to say a waste, because I mean they are still controlling the map, but they were not able to dive in, they were not able to get any drones. Oh, a little bit of a supply block there for our Zerg. Once again, Captain Fish will try to dive in, but with all these roaches and all these queens, I don't think he can really do so. Yeah, the roaches are now moving forward. The Banshees will be a bit of a pain because there is no Overseers here. But now, when the Overseer joins an army, the queens should be able to fend them off. Captain Fish trying to rotate with these Hellions, maybe try to sneak into the 3rd base and get some damage done. There are 2 queens there, but one of them is very damaged from that fight with the Banshee before, so it is definitely possible, but the body blocking may just be a bit too good. So that's a lot of Overlords. It just popped out all at once. Yeah, because that spore is right here in the mineral line, like it makes it that much harder for the Hellions to dive in. It also makes it harder for the drones to escape if they come from the other side, but it looks like the Banshees were actually able to sneak 4 drones on their own. So, nice little bit of damage there. The queens are there though to protect, but still always nice to get a few drones. Ooh, this one worker that's been working on that wall for a while is actually taken down, and it actually makes a nice little path for escape for these Hellions. But the roach army of Iberia is getting bigger. And does Captain Fish have a response for this? How many tanks does he have? We have 4 tanks. Most of them are in this natural. We also have a drop incoming, but like, yeah, we're focusing so much on Marines that we barely have any tanks. So it looks like I missed another dive of the Banshees, I assume. But it's time. Iberia is moving out. The roaches are in the middle of the map. At the same time, we have this drop from Captain Fish going for the 4 base. There are a lot of queens there, but just queens. And the queens will be going down. At the same time though, the roaches are moving in. We have a lot of Ravagers in this army as well, so the tanks are getting biled down. There are still 2 in the natural, but there will be all that's holding the front here. Iberia splits the army a little bit, which is dangerous, but still has a lot of forces left. But ooh, that's Steam Marines. The man with gun. Oh, the meat grinder is real. There's still 1 tank left, and actually Captain Fish holds it. He also takes down that 4th base, and the drop is still going because all of the army of Iberia was across the map. Nobody cleaned up this marine army. Natural falls down as well. We only have 2 hatcheries to produce now. The road reinforcement should eventually clean this up, but that is a lot of damage. The Medivac finally goes down to a spore, and the rest of this should be cleaned up, but actually the roaches are going down. Iberia is not focused on defending, he's hesitating across the map. He will be moving in now, and he should be able to take this 3rd base, like, together with the 4th maybe. But actually both of them do lift up. There's a tank on the high ground as well, and another one on the ramp. And this position looks much harder to destroy this time. That said, the Marine gun is not that big, and actually there's not that much to fight these roaches right now. The tanks will still keep it at bay, but this bio army is much smaller than the previous one. We have banelings, but the baneling speed is away, just a few seconds. Iberia has to wait for this to finish. We have not rebuilt the hatcheries, so the reinforcements will be quite difficult to reinforce for the Zerg. And we have 3 tanks on the front. I mean, the banelings will be nice, and maybe they will help deal with that bio army, but all the tanks there. Ooh, even baiting the army here by the Terran player. The tank fire rains on the Zerg. Some of the banelings do reach the army, but only like half of them, and the rest is done. And Captain Fish will be tying up this series 1-1. So GG. Nicely done there by Captain Fish. He made his defense much more solid this time. And yeah, he was able to hold off this committed attack from Iberia. And we are in a tied up score. We are going to game 3. Just waiting for our map to be chosen. As a reminder, this is the way in these amateur tournaments. We have the first map on the bracket, and then the rest of the series is loser's pick. So whoever has lost the last map is the one picking the next one. And we are going into game number 3. Game number 3 will be on Alcione, Alcione, Al Capone, Alozar. Yes. as we are spawning on our map, I refuse to say the name anymore. It is our Zerg player in the top right corner representing Big Bong Exports and currently tied up in the series 1-1. It is Iberi. And at bottom left corner we have our blue Terran player representing himself and Germany. It is Captain Fish. Now I'm very curious if our players will go once again for similar strategies and, you know, just see how it goes this time, or if maybe we will see something different. To be fair, it's very common, especially amongst amateur players, to, you know, have like a go-to build. I mean, I say amateur players, even pro players do that, where like for a while they have like a go-to build for a matchup essentially. Sometimes go to build for a map, but a lot of times it can be go to build for a matchup. Like sometimes like it differs a little bit, but the general idea is the same. And I wonder if that's the case for the two of our players as well, or maybe they will change something up. For now, it looks like we will be going for more of the same. We have... Oh, I say that, but actually, hold that thought. We have a second Rax. A second barracks is hidden right behind the mineral line in the main base of Captain Fish. And it will be a while before Iberi scouts it, because, you know, his overlord doesn't get there until these two racks will probably already take effect. Iberi meanwhile looks to be going for more or less the same opening. We have the hatch first into the gas and pool. And once again, I don't expect any aggression from Iberi early on. There will be just these 4 defense links, and at the same time we are really committing to repairs from Captain Fish. So as I said, like, we finally see it where like one of the players decides, you know what, time to switch it up. Time to go for a different build. Oh, actually it looks like Iberi seems to be a bit scared, getting some spine crawlers. Maybe it's just a thing about the map. Maybe, you know, maybe Iberi has been all in on this map before. Maybe he knows, and now he definitely knows, as he sees the Reaper coming from the main base of Captain Fish, and it's not coming from the racks that's on the front of the base. Yeah, Iberi trying to scout, trying to fish for the drags, trying to find out where exactly it is, but he definitely knows that something is up. Something is not quite right. And we have 3 Reapers there from Captain Fish. We have a lot of links though, so Iberi is quite prepared for this, but that doesn't mean that a Reaper or 2 can slip by. And we do have a lot of them. At the same time, this is not an all-in from Captain Fish. He is transitioning behind this. We have the factory, we have the Marines on the way. So this is not the end of the build for Captain Fish, but he would definitely hope to do some damage with this. Oh, and one of these queens is getting quite low, so definitely could be a snipe. Iberi responding with a Baneling Nest, which could help with this definitely bio army. Another one of the queens is getting focused. I don't know if he can quite get it. He's trying not to get surrounded by the Zerglings, but the second queen pops out and he loses a few Reapers for it while the queen survives, so unfortunate there for Captain Fish. He was very close, but not close enough. At the same time, the links are going across the map. We have a wall on the high ground and we have some Marines, but not a lot of them. The rest of the buildings, like our tech buildings, are still being set up, so these Marines will have to hold off this attack. And they will for now. However, the Baneling Nest has finished, so if Iberi chooses to, he could Bane Blast the wall, but It looks like he decides to go for the macro instead, takes his third base, deals with the rest of the Reapers. That is a lot of Zerglings, and I mean a lot of Zerglings that aren't really doing anything. Like, sure, they were helpful in defending against the Reapers, but if they stay on this side of the map, like, they're a bit of a waste. So once again, IB will try to go across the map. The wall is open. The Marines are in the wall, so it's nice. But if the Zerglings manage to slip by, this may get very risky there. Captain Fish did have this scouting Marine on the front, and he will react in time. But I am a little bit worried. First of our tanks is on the way. But while it is nice to know that, you know, that Captain Fish is able to hold his base, that nothing slips by, he is losing the economy race essentially, because IB already has a third base on the way. Obviously it's not saturated, but he does oversaturate his natural a lot. Meanwhile, Captain Fish is on one base. It's just this one main base. He has 2 more CCs, they are becoming orbitals, but they are not mining. They are not bringing him resources. Double drop sneaks by all these links that are gathering on the bottom of the map for some reason. Looks like IB may be trying to maybe hoping that these minerals will be maybe mined and he can sneak by. Ooh, even blocking the natural with a single link. Yeah, very, very unfortunate there. But Captain Fish is going straight for the main base with this double drop. I am not quite sure if IB has spotted this, but at least he's not reacting. He's busy going for the SCVs of Captain Fish, going for the natural base. And 10, 11 SCVs are going down. At the same time though, the Baneling nest is under fire and there will be no more Banelings for IB for the time being. The Marines are also not afraid of this Spine Crawler and they are now attacking the lair. The Roaches are not reacting, they were not in range. But now they should keep this drop away. It's definitely a scary moment for Iberi though, because losing that lair could have been painful. Looks like one of the queens will be going down, so no little victories there for Captain Fish, but honestly I feel like he maybe expected a bit more damage. He will keep dropping, he will keep taking down drones, but the Roaches are there and they will make sure that not too much damage is done. I say that 7 drones is still quite painful, but considering how many workers Iberi has, like look at that advantage, 45 to 29. I mean, look, mules are good, but that's a lot of workers. That's it. I mean, Captain Fish is able to sneak a few drones here and there, which is definitely nice. That Baneling nest snipe was also big, because, you know, it is able to take away the tech from Iberi for a long time. We're also getting 3 hatcheries in the main base. So, definitely very focused on production right now. But in the meantime, as all of this was happening, Captain Fish was able to re-establish his natural base. It is fully saturated now. Obviously, it doesn't have the gas on. He's still able to get drones. Every time Iberi moves away from the main base, like, these Marines come back and they get a few more. But now the tech of Iberi is back. We're getting the bending speed. We're getting all the other upgrades as well. The hatcheries are about to be finished. It looks like Captain Fish is preparing another drop. We will see. It does get spotted by this Overlord, which is a bit unfortunate. Ooh, but Iberi is double expanding and one of these bases is a gold. I mean, definitely tricky to hold for Zerg, but it will pay off so much if he's able to keep it. Medivacs are still in the corner. One of them still has some Marines in them. And the second double drop is coming now towards the Zerg. There is no Spore in the natural base. There is a Spine Crawler there, but that's about it. There's not even a Queen. Where did the Queen go? The Queen was killed by Marines earlier and it doesn't look like it was revealed. The Roaches are there to defend though, but at the same time, that small little drop from that single Medivac is able to get 8 drones. 8 drones in the main base, fall down. And we still saved 4 Marines. That was a very nice distraction for Captain Fish, attacking the natural, you know, getting a few drones there, but then the main attack was this really small group in the main base. And now we go back to the natural. 7 more drones fall down. The army of Iberia is defending, but every time Iberia has to rotate his forces and, you know, as he's busy trying to defend his drones, Captain Fish finally has time to expand. Do we have an incon graph? We do, and Captain Fish is actually getting a bit of an advantage. I mean, not for long, obviously, as more of the bases of Iberia are getting established. But I mean, mules are still pretty good. And I feel like I almost want to say it's the most important part, but like, because of all this harassment, Captain Fish is keeping Iberia on his side of the map. Like on the Zerg side of the map, which means that his own bases are not being attacked. He has the time to tech up, he has the time to build up. And he feels a little bit more safer. At the same time though, the Zerg progresses with the tech. We're getting Hydra then. Just finished. We're also taking more bases. So even more expansions coming up. And I do wonder if we're going for like a Linkbane Hydra or maybe we're going just straight to Lurkers. There is a Hive already. So if we do go for Lurkers, we can get the upgrades for them. Captain Fish keeps playing with the armies of the Zerg. At the same time, the main push is coming. We have a lot of Marines, we have a few tanks as well. How many? We have 6, 8 tanks. Some of them are sieged on the back, the others are sieged on the front, and the gold base is getting annihilated. It's a pretty nice position there from Captain Fish. He's also poking at the third base of the Zerg, but he has to be careful because he is getting surrounded. But the Marines are standing strong, but all of them eventually fall down. The tanks are safe though. It's kind of the role of those Marines. Like, all of the tanks are standing strong and they will be able to defend. At the same time, we have drops both at the natural base and the main base. More drones are falling down. And now we're moving forward. Careful though, the tanks are on siege, but they siege just in time. We still don't have Lurkers. We will be working off of Hydras, so this is a bit of a Link Hydra. And with that base falling, Captain Fish will be taking the series 2-1. GG, nicely done. Very nice game there by Captain Fish. Like, he was really able to not only his defense got better. I mean, he also did this like very, I don't know if I want to call it cheese, but like this very aggressive opening of the Turax Reapers from the base. But he was like, his defense was much better this game, and then his harassment was also really good. We had all of these, you know, small drops just, you know, popping up every now and then, and yeah, in the end it went really well for Captain Fish and he was able to take the series. And with that, let's quickly look at the bracket. Also, I'd be making sure that he GG'd in game because he doesn't remember if he managed to do it. Just I'm not sure if I saw a GG, so just so the chat knows that the intention was there. So, all good. Yeah, with that, let's look at our bracket. We have some updates coming. So Alpha did take down Boba 2-0, and Alpha is currently now facing Tortugavu. We also have Rather speedrunning the bracket a little bit, 2-0 Davlitas, and now he was in 1-1 versus Droptimus, but it looks like some issue appeared, and in the end Rather does advance after these 2 games, and he's already in the semifinals. We had our series of Captain Fish versus Iberi, which was a very nice series, 2-1. Oh, it looks like we had one walkover. Battle Pants gets a walkover over Hollow Ghost. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Hollow Ghost was able to play. Maybe something came up, maybe some technical issues, but unfortunately it had to be a walkover, and now Battle Pants will be facing Legend K. And yeah, we have our quarterfinals ready. One of them kind of already finished, but we have our quarterfinals ready. We will be going into Belisarius versus Captain Fish next, so get ready for that series. And yeah, what I wanted to mention, something that I didn't mention yet today, all of our players, except for Hologos, of course, because of a walkover, all players who have played at least one full series. I think actually Droptimus doesn't count because of that, because he did drop out. But all players who have played at least one full series will be eligible for the random participant raffle. What it is? That is a bonus prize, $5 prize for absolutely random person who has participated in the tournaments. Kind of, to encourage the players to take part, because even if you're not the finalist, if you're not the best of the best, like, you still can get something extra. Of course, there is a chance that the prize does go to the finalists, because again, it is completely random, but you never know. You never know until you try. As we are currently getting ready for our next series, making sure that all players are where they should be. From what I could tell, Belisarius is from Poland, so we will be playing on EU once again. So yeah, with that, we will be going on a quick break. So if you refill your snacks, refill your water, make sure to hydrate. And I say hydrate, that does not mean coffee, okay? No coffee, just hydrate. Juice is fine. I know some people don't agree with that, but juice is okay. Just get some hydration in you. And we will be back soon with our next series. See you then. back. We have found our players. And yeah, and we will be going into our next series, into our quarterfinals. We are going in Crimson Court. And spawning in the bottom left corner of Crimson Court, we have the first of our players. We have a Zerg player. Once again, we have a Zerg versus Terran. It is a Polish player from the Void. I'm not sure if that's the same as the Void, the other Void clan, but it's the Void. The Moon. The Moon, also known as Belisarius on the bracket. Meanwhile, across the map we have our Terran player in the red from Germany. It is Captain Fish. So we're getting more TVZs or ZVTs. And once again, ooh, we do have a 15 hatch, but it is a 15 hatch with a gas streak. So a little bit different than what we've seen in the previous match. And yeah, we'll see how this matchup will work versus our Terran, the Captain Fish. I assume he's gonna be going back to the more macro style. Maybe the Reaper is like more an only thing, but I say that no, we're getting those two barracks again. I guess Captain Fish is like he had enough of, you know, these slow macro openings. We're going for Reapers. And we'll see how the Zerg player will respond to that. The Overlord is on the way to scout, but obviously the second rack is very hidden from the view. And for the time being, we're not. We are getting 2 Zerglings. Usually in ZVT you would get 4 to fend off that Reaper, but we're only getting 2. And we have 3 Reapers on the way. The Overlord has actually not seen much. Yeah, like Moon or Belisarius, like he didn't even go full all the way to the natural, so he couldn't see if the CC has been thrown down, and he will be completely blind to this. He may be able to see the Reapers themselves as they go across the map, but yeah, he's completely unaware of this opening coming. Obviously, he might have seen the previous series because Belisarius has been waiting for his opponent. He didn't have much of his own to play. Well, we actually have the Zerglings coming in, but they only go for the wall. I mean, he sees that there is no CC on the way, so that is obviously a tell that something is up. Because normally you would have some kind of an expansion soon, right? But yeah, he's just focusing on house, and now he sees the 2 Reapers pop up. This is the Reactor Reapers. I guess that should be saying something, but he's still droning. Yeah, he fends off these 2 Reapers with a Queen. He gets a 3rd base. Now he's making the links, but is it too late? I mean, the speed is about to finish, so they should be enough. The Reapers are focusing the Queen. There is no second Queen to transfuse, so it will be going down eventually. The links don't quite have speed yet, and they're coming one by one, which is not ideal, but ooh, they're able to trap some of the Reapers. Very nice surround by the Zerg. Most of the Reapers have been dealt with, even the last one falls, and now it's time for counterattack. I mean, I say that, but there is a full wall. The Binding Nest has only just started, so I don't think Moon will be able to get anything done soon. At least he will be able to poke at Captain Fish a little bit. Now the downside of this opening from Captain Fish is that if it doesn't do a lot of damage, I mean, I said, but like, I feel like even if it does damage, if it doesn't kill your opponent, if it doesn't finish the game, you just have a lot of Zerglings on your head. because there's nowhere he can go. He cannot expand to his natural, he cannot expand to his ferret. He has some marines, but if those marines get surrounded, like, they may still get overpowered. And with the banelings added to the mix, this is a very, very risky situation. Meanwhile, we have a 4th base coming up from Moon. This is the base that has the extra gas, which I cannot click on. Huh. Yeah, it's just slightly out of vision. Meanwhile, oh, the Zerglings actually. Sorry, I missed the Bane Bus. Both of the supply depots go down, and the Zerglings run straight in. The Marines are taken down. Now the SCVs have to fight the Zerglings. Only a few Marines are left. I mean, the SCV wall is working, but 10 workers go down. And as a reminder, we have 20 workers, but they are all on the same base. "20 workers to 46 of our Zerg player to the 4 bases. Obviously, not all of them are saturated yet, but the economy of Moon is looking good. Well, Captain Fish still has not expanded, and now he lost all of those SCVs. That must be painful. I mean, he will be going out with this drop, which is definitely nice. He takes on the Queen really fast, but the Lingbane is here to defend, and that Queen is all he is gonna get here. He almost got into the nice position where he could shoot the drones from the high ground, but yeah, the Lingbane will prevent him for that. The Banelings don't have speed yet, so they have to waddle around chasing that Medivac. Yeah, all that, you know, great harassment that Captain Fish had in the previous series is it's not really able to have any effect in this game. And again, he still has not expanded. There's still Lingbane on the map. I believe. Yeah, Moon is going across the map, so I don't know if he will prevent the natural from going down, but at the very least he will be very annoying about it. And yeah, looks like he made it just in time, as he has prepared the second Bane Bus. That the wall is going down. Now there are tanks in the mix, but they will be taken down by the Zerglings. Not more than that though. One of the tanks survives. Barracks is burning down, but should be fixed, hopefully. And finally our Terran does take the natural base, but not without losses. We have another drop on the 4th base. The Zerglings are here to deflect though, and none of the drones are going down. We also have Hydras on the way. They are already getting their speed upgrade. I don't know if we have made any yet though. No, there aren't any Hydras on the map, but we do have the technology available. At the same time, we are getting more hatcheries, and those are macro hatcheries. They are not on the bases. They are. One of them is in the main, one of them is in the natural, actually. Very interesting location. Well, Ling Runby goes for the mules. Most of them already expired though, so won't be that much damage to those, but yeah, that's another Lingbane attack, and Captain Fish decides this is too much. GG, Moon will be taking game number 1. And as I'm being informed, let me quickly check. If you type Macherino, you will be able to see the Macherino page for this tournament. This is the page supporting directly this specific tournament, the one that's happening today. So the players, you know, the players who are participating today have a chance to win a part of this prize, and this is very, very important information. So for today, we had a contributor. We actually had a contributor who's in the chat. We have Chance SE donating $50 to the prize pool of today's tournament, which means, very importantly, that the semi-finalists will be getting prize today. That's very important information. That we have 4 players who will be getting prizes today, unlike just the finalists as usual. So big thanks to Chance SC, and thank you for supporting the players. If you would like to support this specific tournament, then once again, exclamation mark Machino. But if you would like to just, you know, make sure that these tournaments keep going, that they keep happening every month, and that they keep getting better, you know, bigger prize pools, more common tournaments as well, maybe, then make sure to head over to our Patreon. Patreon is how we are able to run this tournament, so it would be great if you could check it out. While our players are ready, we will be jumping into game number 2. And game number 2 will be happening on Dynasty. Welcome to Dynasty Ellie as we look at the first of our players, the blue Zerg player, representing Devoid. It is Moon, also known as Belisarius. And across the map his opponent, it is the green this time, Terran player representing Germany and himself. It's Captain Fish. Once again, our Zerg player going for the 15 hatch with a Gastric. Meanwhile, let's see what our Terran is doing. Will Captain Fish once again go for the Turax Reaper style, or is he done with that for today? Is he going to play a more like macro opening? He is looking at the natural base, so I would assume he will be focusing on the expansions, on the macro. And I mean, he has played a very nice macro games today, so I could definitely see that going well for him. Meanwhile, our Zerg player going for Hachka's pool, which we so like to see. Captain Fish will scout that. I mean, he only checks the natural base. I have very mixed feelings about that because I'm just so used to that first SCV scout to block the third base, and it doesn't look like Captain Fish likes doing that, so that is a bit of a choice. The Reaper is coming up now, but I don't know if it will be able to stop third base coming down. I mean, to be fair, there is no third base. Yeah, the 2 drones have to be saved, have to be morphed immediately. 3 drones are actually not able to mine. I mean, very nice micro from Moon, but it was quite a lot of lost mining time. But at the same time, we did lose the Reaper. So in the end, maybe it's just worth it. Oh, we also denied the natural base. These 2 links were able to snipe the SCV, and yeah, we have a bit of a delay on the natural base of the Terran. It's not a huge delay, but it's definitely a painful one. Meanwhile, the Zerg was able to take the third base, the linear third base. We're also working on our Baneling Nest. Oh, more Gastrix. We are a bit supply block. Meanwhile, Captain Fish going back to his his previous style, the one that we saw more on the beginning of the tournament, getting the Hellions ready. And I assume he will go for some Hellion harassment first. At the same time getting this third base at the goal, which would definitely be nice for him. And again, Zerg can't really punish this base because these gold minerals are preventing any link run buys from coming in. The Hellions are on the move, and once again we see that Cloak Banshee that Captain Fish likes so much. Oh, catching these banelings as they're morphing still, which is, I mean, yeah, that's very risky, but they don't. Can I have a moment of silence for the Hellions? Yeah, Captain Fish was trying to be very fancy, trying to snipe the banelings as they morph. And he did miscalculate just a little bit. Happens to the best of us. Makes me think of Shelby. I miss Shelby. But anyway, we have a Hydra then on the way. Only 3 bases though, no 4th yet. So we're going for faster Hydras this time. Oh, I love when the Queen is watching one of the drones. She's making sure that that one drone does the job well. Like, maybe it was a bit sick when it was young, so you know, she has to watch over, make sure that he does a good job. But yeah, she decides that no, it's time to let him be his own thing. And the drone keeps smiling. It's a beautiful story, really. But it is time for the Banshees. And the Banshees are now ready. They do have Cloak, so they will be able to go right into the bases. There is a Scouting Overlord though, and they fly right by it as they're not being cloaked yet. So that should alert Moon that something is coming, but he may just be too busy with these Hellions on the front. So we will see. No, he was trying to take the base at the goal, but he saw the Banshees parked right there and decides, you know what? I don't think I want that base. Not right now. Meanwhile, a bunch of upgrades are finishing for our Zerg player. We have the Bane speed already done. We have some Hydra upgrades as well. And finally the Hydras are starting to pop out. The Hellions once again are getting dealt with without doing any damage. And Zerg is free to expand even more. Slings are hoping that the gold minerals will finally be mined out, but not soon. The Banshees will deal with some of them, but it will take them a while to take so many Zerglings down. We're also finally getting that gold base for the Zerg, because the Banshees have moved away. And yeah, looks like we won't be having that much... I say that Captain Fish is a little undecided about the Banshee harassment. Did go all the way back home, but decides to try again and see if he can get something done with them. But the entire Zerg army is here, and now the Hydras are in the mix. Both of the Banshees will be going down almost immediately. No damage being done. And Captain Fish has to get ready. He decides to move out against this army, which, I mean, it may work well, but it may also be a bit risky. 3 tanks are definitely nothing to scoff at though, and all of this army of the Zerg is very squishy. Ooh, actually catches the Hydras distracted, but the Banelings are now rolling in. And this is a choke on this bridge. A lot of the Marines will be going down. The tanks are being picked up, but the bio is left to fend for itself. But now the tanks are sieged and the position is secured. We have 4 tanks, 1 on the high ground, 3 on the low ground, and the Zerg cannot just attack into that. Lurker then is halfway finished, so we will have Lurkers soon. But they're not here yet, and the Hydras will go down to this army quite quickly. That said, the Marines are very damaged and the Medivacs are not quite able to heal them in time as they keep running forward. But with the tanks sieged on the back, it's very hard for Zerg to approach. Captain Fish is making sure that he's not getting surprised, that no Lings are running from the back. But now the Zerg army is running for... Oh, he's unsieged and the tanks will get cut off, but no, they're being picked up once again and Captain Fish saves his army. In the meantime, he was able to take his 4th base, so the economy is definitely looking much better than before. But we are getting into the late game techs, we are getting into the Vipers, we are getting into the Lurkers. We don't have any Lurkers yet, they have not been morphed, but we do have the technology available. The Terran doesn't stop though. A changeling definitely messed with the movement a little bit, but most of them are being sniped. Now the Zerg army tries to collapse on the Terran. The Banelings are not quite finding the connections yet, and now they're rolling into the tanks, but ooh, the tanks are left on the front and they're all crushed by this Lingbane army. There is still 1 tank behind, so Moon can just roll forward, but that was a really nice cleanup. Looks like Moon will be remaking that army, now making sure that he is prepared, and Kuro will try to attack again. At the same time, Captain Fish is looking to drop the gold base, I assume. The drones are completely defenseless at this gold base, which is why Zergs typically are not very fond of this map. The entire army of Moon is coming back to deal with this drop, and I mean, they do destroy all of the Marines, so there's that, but 6 drones did fall down. Meanwhile, on the Terran side of things, we are getting ghosts. We also have a sensor tower now, so we are able to see what is going on in the middle of the map. The defensive position is okay. We have 2 tanks here, there are more on the way. Just have to make sure they're not too clammed up, I guess, because the Vipers are already there, so we will have some Blinding Clouds. We may have some Yoinks as well. I'm still surprised there are no Lurkers in this army though. We have Hydras, but we have not morphed any Lurkers. Oh, the Banelings are trying to sneak by and they will meet the army, but they go straight for the gold. They bust through the wall. And all the SCVs will be going down, and that's not it. The Baneling train doesn't stop and it goes straight for the main base. The SCVs are trying to escape, but that may be just the wrong move as they are all gathering in one place. And even the natural is in danger. The SCVs once again clumping together. Ooh, but at the last second they do split, but most of them are still pretty close. How much can we get? 20 SCVs total going down to that Bane train. For 26 Banelings though. I mean, that's a lot of Banelings for 20 SCVs, I would say. So, I'm not quite sure if it was... Ooh, but that was a really nice yawn. Both of those dropships? Both of those medivacs, those drops with Marines are taken down. Very nicely done there from Moon. Ooh, another Baneling train is coming. The tanks are now sieged, but the banelings roll forward anyway. The Hydras deal with the rest of the army as the Zerg just moves forward. We have blinding clouds on the tanks as well. And the ghosts are trying to help, but they don't really have anything to do here as it's mostly Hydras. That said though, the Link Bane has been spent. Moon has to move back. He has to reinforce his army. Meanwhile, Captain Fish he is mostly ghosts. He does have one tank here and he's working on another drop, but yeah, his defensive position is suddenly gone. Another drop is trying to sneak by, but it is being spotted. The Vipers are not quite refreshed yet, so it will be able to hide in the corner of the map for the time being. Okay. That was funny. The Viper is there like, nah. I think it was still out of energy, or maybe Moon decided that it's not worth to do it right now. Oh, but he definitely sees it coming. He has overlords everywhere and he pays attention. So this drop shouldn't be able to do any damage. The Medivac gets sniped, the Marines are being dealt with, and no damage is done to the Zerg. Captain Fish has added Liberators to the mix, which will definitely reinforce this defensive position, but that's another Bane train, and there's so many Banelings. They bust straight through the wall. They don't even bother with the gold, they go straight for the main base. But what can they find? To be fair, these bases have been mining out, so there are not that many workers there, but they will find the bio army. Many of the Banelings are being sniped, but not all of them, and they do deal a lot of damage to the army, which also means that these siege units are not being protected. The tanks are going down, the Liberators are going down as well. We have one tank, but it's also getting yoinked. To be fair, that was probably not ideal, as it got yoinked in a pretty decent position right next to the planetary. You know, a little bit of a miscalculation there from Moon. But nonetheless, he was able to deal with most of the army of the Terran. And now he has a way into the base. He deals with the last tank at the gold base. And he's just moving forward. The Marines are coming from the back, but they also have to go through the choke point as the Lynx deal with another tank in the main base. And with that, GG is called. Moon will be taking this series 2-0. That was a really, really nice game there from both of our players. Very, very solid, very macro. And yeah, and in the end, Belisarius, also known as Moon, will be advancing to the semi-finals. It looks like we have both of our semi-finals already ready and waiting for us. And we have to get ready for our semi-finals. Let us quickly look at the bracket. As we just had this great series of Belisarius versus Captain Fish. I really enjoyed this series. It was really... like, it was very well played from both of our players. Like, we had constant action from both. Like, both of them were trying to harass the other and, you know, just get the damage done. And then we had these big engagements as well. So, really nicely done there. But it looks like we have our semifinals ready. Our winner of this series, Belisarius, will be facing Battle Pants, who we have seen in the chat, and Battle Pants did take down Legend K 2-1. Meanwhile, in the upper part of our bracket, Tortugavil did take Alpha 2-1 and has now moved on to semifinals to face Rudder. And that will be the next of our series. Oh, this is not good. Oh, hold on. I have to restart my game. Oh boy. Don't you love it when you open StarCraft and like nothing loads? It's just empty black space and you're like, oh, what have I done? Yeah, that happens. Anyway, let me set this up. Versus rather. I like how on the bracket it's just Tortuga, which is a turtle. And he is a Terran player, so, you know. I suddenly am very scared about how this series will go. Also, we have Moon in the chat saying that he used to be 5k, but that was like years ago. So yeah, I mean, sometimes that happens and we have these returning players who are slowly getting their skill back. They slowly advance through the stages, and you know, maybe soon enough you will be getting your results in this professional tournaments. I mean, we had that case before with Ares, also known back then as Claire. Where he was actually a GM way in the past, but like Wings of Liberty kind of GM, and he came back and he was slowly able to get his skill back. Also, I made a mistake. Okay, I think we're okay. Maybe. Oh boy. StarCraft is not playing nice with me today. Hopefully everything works. Hopefully we have no issues. It looks like our players are ready to go. And welcome to the first game of our semifinals, the upper semifinals. It is side delta. We are on side delta. We're looking at the first of our players. In the bottom right corner we have our blue Terran player, representing JK? Joke? I mean, I assume that means something actually. No, sorry, JK is rather. Representing King SC, my bad. It is Tortugaville. Or Tortugaville. Or Tortuga. Look, we need an explanation of this name. He is clearly a Tortuga, which means turtle. Where does the ville come from? What does ville mean? Is that a name? Is that a Tortuga called ville? Does that mean something else? Maybe we'll find out. Anyway, across the map we have his opponent. It is the red Protoss player representing JK, whatever that one means. It is rather. For the first time in today's tournament we have a different matchup. We actually have a Protoss in the game. And it looks like we're starting from a little scout. The probe just, you know, checking out what the Terran is doing. Wasn't able to quite get into the wall in time, so no harassment there. And it looks like both of our players are starting quite standard. We have that Nexus before core, I believe. Or maybe... yeah, I think it was before core. Meanwhile, our Terran getting his factory up. So I guess we will be seeing a bit of a 1-1-1. The probe is being sniped. Tortuga definitely does not like the probe constantly spying on his build. Also, as a reminder, because I do see our other semi-finalists in the chat, all semi-finalists get a prize today, thanks to our contributor. Thanks to, I believe it was Chance, right? Chance with a Z. Thanks to our contributor, all 4 players, all semi-finalists will be receiving a prize, so make sure to join the match arena, because that's how we pay out the prize pool. Okay, the Stalker was considering going across the map, but turned around midway through. We're going for a Robo. Rather going for a Robo opening. Also that Sentry, as the Sentries are much more liked nowadays. Yeah, looks like we will be having a bit of a slower start to the game. Tortuga, expanding on the high ground, will be floating his CC to the natural soon, I assume. He has a Cyclone out, so he's ready for any kind of harassment, but the harassment is not coming. We are preparing instead with a robotics bay. Tortuga will a town where Turtle Terrans go to retire. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, definitely. Anyways, yeah, it looks like we will be focusing on the Drobo. We are working on an Immortal for now, but the robotics bay tells us there's something else coming up. That maybe it's just Colossus, or maybe it's Disruptors. Maybe you're playing something else entirely. Meanwhile, Tortuga getting his first drop already. The Observer just barely didn't spot it, but it does keep an eye on this main army here. It gets quickly sniped though. Rather getting ready to take his third base. We'll see if he will be able to, because that drop is coming. He has a spotter pylon at the edge of the base, but there's barely any units. We have these Stalkers, we have the Zealots. We're working in even more Zealots, but as a reminder, we have no Twilight Council. Those are chargeless Zealots. They're slow lots. I'm not sure how much they can help versus a bio drop. There is a Liberator across the map as well. So there is a double harassment getting prepared. The Medivac decides not to dive in. The Liberator is also still hiding behind the Natural, but there are 2 more Stalkers there. So rather definitely getting prepared for all sorts of harassment coming from the Terran. The Liberator is spotted. Looks like it will be going straight for the main base, but actually no, parks right over the Natural, but the Stalker is there. The shield battery does save it, and the Liberator is being dealt with. At the same time, the drop does come down. In the end, 2 probes do die. Oh, 4 with the Widowmine, which is nice, but I feel like Tortuga was counting on much more. If how much he dedicated to this, both the Liberator and the drop, I feel like 4 probes is definitely not what you're hoping for, especially losing the Liberator and some of the Marines. this was the first time I've seen the Colossus take this path. And they look very interesting. I mean, they do walk over the cliffs, I guess. The drop is once again coming back. There is nothing more in it than previous time. We have just the 3 marines. So I'm not quite sure how well it's gonna go. Anyway, back at home we have an army building up. It is scouted by that phoenix. Of course, that's assuming Rudder could actually take a look at it. Charge is now on the way, but it's not quite finished yet. It's about to be. We are forced to do some warpings to defend from these marines, but again, it's just 3 marines. Like this is not a big army. There's even a cannon here now with two pylons just to make sure that it doesn't get unpowered. So I think Rudder is pretty safe from any harassment attacks. Also, the move out from the Terran was spotted by a spotter pylon in the middle of the map. So Tuga decides maybe it's not a good idea to move out right now after all. That Cyclone was having a hard time. Poor Cyclone. Keeps getting pushed around. But yeah, Tortuga will try a different approach, a different angle at the attack. I mean, it is true that most of Rudder's forces are at the third base, so if he's able to walk straight into the natural, it may be nice. And that's exactly what he will try to do. Finding a nice position here. The tanks are being sieged, but the Colossus is here and 2 more are coming as well. The Protoss army is focusing the tanks first. It's mostly bio now. One of the tanks is still unsieged, but it will be getting dealt with soon anyway. There are Vikings for the Colossus, but there's not many of them and the entire Terran army is being destroyed. 8 probes were also killed, as well as some of the Protoss army, but you know, I have a feeling the Terran losses were a bit more severe, losing all the tanks, losing pretty much all of the army. And Tortuga is forced to go back home. Meanwhile, Rudder feels confident. He decides to move out with these 3 Colossi and some of the gateway units. I will say this is not a lot of support for this Colossus. Like, you could definitely be a bit more safe. Like, this is a bit brave. But if he's able to catch Tortuga before he remakes his army, he may just be able to power through. There are some more Zealot reinforcements coming in, as well as another Colossus. And we are going straight in. There is 1 tank here. It's not being focused actually. We are focusing on the base. Now the tank does go down. The Zealots are focusing on the main army. They're focusing on the SCVs running away. The Vikings are raining fire on the Colossi, but there are some Stalkers to scare them off. The base did have to be evacuated though, and it's halfway through the health. We'll see if it will get repaired. The Protoss is still nearby. It's actually being watched by that single SCV. It's like, I see you. But yeah, if Rudder decides to dive in once again, he may be able to snipe this orbital. He decides against it though. Decides to work on his upgrades. His Blink is about to be ready. Storm is on the way as well. The 4th base is getting saturated. Now we added Archons to the mix. We also have a single High Templar there, gathering energy for a storm. But I don't know if we will actually need it. We're going straight to this bio army. There are no ghosts here. And GG is called. Rather, we'll be taking game number 1. Definitely nicely played by Rather. And we have picked our next map. Okay. Make sure I'm making the map on correct server. That's a new one. I didn't know that's how it works. Apparently I couldn't... I was making a lobby, and as I was loading into the lobby, I got a party invite, and that cancels the lobby. It's the first time I faced that. Okay. As we are getting our players ready, the map is being set up. Let's go for game number 2. And game number 2 of our series will be on our favorite map, the one and only Al Capone. As we are now loaded in, and we are looking at the place of our blue Terran player, representing King SC. It is, hold on, let me double check that. From Mexico. Our player is from Mexico. It is Tortuga Bill. And across the map we have his Protoss opponent. It is, in the red, representing himself and OGJKO. It is from Australia, Rather. So I see the chat is discussing some potential changes to the game, including Colossi mining minerals. Oh, okay. But real talk. I know Steelmod will appreciate this conversation. If Colossi can mine minerals, it has to be like a giraffe, right? Where like you have you seen like a giraffe drinking? Like when it has to like, you know, split its like front legs all the way because it cannot reach it. Like we need Colossi doing that every time it tries to mine minerals. Just behave like a giraffe with its long legs. There you go. I think that would be hilarious. Mod makers get on it. I'm saying that as I literally watched another YouTuber the other day. I have been watching a bit of Giant Grand Games, and there is a mod where the Colossi would, every time they shot, they would like spin their legs around and they would like shoot in a pattern. So believe me, mods can do a lot with this game. Like, the modders of this scene are really talented and they're really able to get a lot out of this game, so they can definitely do the Colossus Giraffe. Meanwhile, the Reaper does get down the scouting probe eventually, and it's not going across the map. So far it looks very similar to the previous game, so nothing out of the usual, but we will see what is the tech choice for both of our players. We do have that second CC before starport for Tortuga, and it is on location in the natural base. And once again, Radar is going for the robo, for the robotics facility. I believe the Reaper did spot that. Let me quickly double check. Yeah, just barely he was able to see the robo. Whether or not Tortuga was able to click it is another story. But at the very least, it was in vision. Oh, but it looks like the natural is actually undefended and one probe is already falling down. The second may as well. 2 probes for the Reaper is definitely nice, and with the grenade, the Reaper should be able to escape. Very nicely done there by Tortuga. It's a small thing, but especially in the early game, it definitely matters. Still, they don't need to bend to cut the minerals, but they still need to pick them up, right? Like the probes are holding the minerals in their mouths, question mark, whatever it is that is the front of the probe. Like they have this little like, I don't know what, and they hold. See, they hold the mineral. They're not like, it's not like floating in front of them. Like they actually hold the mineral. So we need Colossus to do that. We need Colossus to like bend to the mineral and like pick it up. That's all I'm saying. We're having the real conversations here in our amateur tournaments, okay? So the Observer brother is being sniped. And we have the first move out of Tortuga together with some SCVs for the repair. So that will definitely be a strong push. The third base of Radar is about to be set up. But I don't know if he can hold it. He has some of the Stalkers, but they're mostly focused on the defense. They're still trying to hunt down the Reaper. Looks like Radar is not aware of this push moving out. I mean, he did get his Observer sniped. And this single Stalker will not be able to defend his base. The ferret immediately has to be cancelled, and even the bunker is set up. Tortuga really committing to this push. We have a single Immortal and the first Colossus is already out. Tanks are sieging. There's not a lot of gateway army to support, but the tanks should be falling down. Looks like Tortuga was not able to set up his position here, and with the tanks gone and the bio as well, that will be it for this push. That does delay the third base quite significantly for Radar, but Tortuga doesn't even have his out. He doesn't have a CC at all, right? Yeah, he has these 2 orbitals. He has not started to work on his third base. So it's just a 2-base Terran. And it may just be it. I don't know if he's planning to actually take a third. He may just focus on attacking instead. But now we see the third going down eventually for Tortuga. He does have a bit of an army in the middle of the map. So that will probably be going to attack quite soon, but it is also being spotted by this pylon. Also, that's a very funny position for the tank, right there in the vision blockers. Also, chat is still not letting me win. Just let me make Giraffe Colossus, okay? Giraffe Colossus is funny. Yes, I know that they can just you know, use their lasers to pick stuff up, but look, where's the fun in that? Yeah, rather is getting prepared to hold his third base. We do have 4 tanks though with this army. There's not a lot of bio, I will have to say. And no medivacs for support either. Like, our starport production is entirely focused on Vikings. So this bio will not last long, especially in the face of Colossus. Bit of a scout from Tortuga. I guess he was checking if he was being watched. But it looks like at the same time the Protoss is moving out, the Zealots will meet the Terran army. Tanks are now being sieged up, but they're all together. The Zealots are moving on top of the army, but the tanks are being taken down by the Colossus. And it's just this bio army left now. We have 2 Vikings, but it's just 2 Vikings. With a nice little choke position there for the Terran. But the force field prevents the bio army from ever escaping. Yeah, there has to be careful not to lose those Colossus, because the Vikings did quite a lot of damage on one of them, but eventually he is able to clean up the Terran army. And what does Tortuga have at home? Not all that much. He has some bio army, he has a Viking. There are Widow Mines in production, but I don't think they will be ready, and he knows that as well. He evacuates the third base completely. But can he even hold the natural? Oh, the Zealots just stream in through the hole in the wall. The Widow Mine does a lot of friendly fire to the SCVs. And the Colossus will rain fire on everything else. The Protoss has broken the natural and is now going for the main base. It's just this bio army defending. The Vikings are doing a number on the Colossus, but there's still Gateway army to support as well. Tortuga is trying to hold this position the best that he can, but I don't know if he has the forces to do so. The Colossus are falling down, but that is it. Rather, we'll be taking the series 2-0 and advancing to the finals. GG, well played from Rather. Very solid games. And with that, he will be taking the series. And as a reminder, both Tortuga... the accent is so random on this. Both Tortuga and Rather will be receiving prize today, as, again, thanks to our donation, we will be having prizes for all semi-finalists. But unfortunately, that is the end of Tortuga's run today. And Rather will be waiting in the finals for his next opponent. As we quickly take a look at the bracket. Rather just took down Tortuga 2-0. Let's let me update the score. And he is now in the finals. Meanwhile, our other semifinals is ready. We have Belisarius versus Battle Pants. I will say that is quite a name. Oh. I just looked in the game. And Battle Pants has as many special characters in their name as possible. Oh boy. To be fair, I say that, but there are no Polish letters there, so I mean, you could do better. You could use Polish letters, like there are at least 3 Polish letters you could put in there. Just saying. But yeah, it looks like it will be very hard for me to set up in casting too, so I apologize in advance. But that is the series that we will be getting ready for. And Battle Pants is from Australia. There you go, another Australian player. Oh, it's very possible we could have Australia versus Australia finals, which definitely would be very exciting. Like, it has been a while since our tournaments have been dominated by the Australians, so always nice to see. I mean, as a reminder, like, this tournament has been going on for years. Like, this tournament first started in 2017, 2017. So back then we had players like Orion Starduck, both Australian players who have then went on to be a professional players. I mean, maybe semi-pro is a better way to describe it, but either way, they did compete on the highest level. They did participate in the tournaments, and they also started from tournaments like this, from the amateur tournaments, the diamond tournaments. And then they reached the heights. So, you know, maybe it could be you. Maybe you could be the next player, you know, starting in the amateur tournament and eventually getting to those professional ones. As we are now getting ready for the semifinals. We are setting up our lobby. And we are about to start. Cyrus is ready. Battle Pants is ready. Jeff, and we'll be loading into game number 1. Welcome to Side Delta, which is our map for our first map for this semi-finals. And we are looking at the first of our player in the top left corner, representing himself. It is our blue Terran player from Australia. It's Pants. Battle Pants. I tried my best to read. Sorry, the A with the thingy is an O. Yeah, I forget how to read all these letters. It depends on the language too, because few languages use those. Anyway, across the map we have his opponent. It is in the red, the Polish Zerg player, Belisarius. With another 15 hatch. Yeah, but Isarius not quite used to playing on the West server, but I mean, that is what happens when you play versus the Australians. By default, we do have West, Central West for our Australia versus Europe setup. As, you know, many of you, I'm sure know, but some of you don't, that like, you know, Australia does not get a really good ping to all these servers, and even though they technically on Americas, like, even playing on some of the Americas servers can be quite rough. So we try our best to make it as even as possible. And we do have some people in the chat hyping up Battle Pants, namely Fate Quasi, cheering on for the player he knows, or they know. So I am ready to see what Battle Pants has to offer. What kind of playstyle does he favor? So far it looks like it's pretty standard, just, you know, going for his Rex expand in the natural, not quite afraid of any cheeses coming his way. I don't think he sent an SCP scout. I might have missed it, but I don't think I've seen one. Instead we have that Reaper going across the map now. The Zerglings are actually nowhere to be found. The Queen will be enough to fend off the Reaper for now, but it will be able to freely move around. At the same time, the Zerglings are going across the map. They see the second Reaper as well, as it looks like we are opening with 2 Rex. Ooh, even getting a delay on that CC. Very nicely done there by Belisarius. The 2 Rex is getting prepared. I guess we're going for 2-on-1. The Reapers are actually going home. They have to deal with the Zerglings. They were. I don't think that's what Battle Pants was hoping for. He would definitely prefer the Reapers to be across the map. He's still not continuing the CC. That's very painful. The Butcher strikes. Yes. Look, I'm very good at names, okay? I'm so good at names. And I'm so good at pronouncing English as well. So good, you know. Someone say. Anyway, we have Baneling Nest on the way, as well as the third base for our Zerg player. These 2 Reapers will once again try to find their luck and maybe try to find some damage across the map. At the very least, they will confirm that third base. As 2-on-1 is progressing, we're making a third command center as well. At the same time, there are more links going across the map, and there are some Marines now to defend, so the Reapers do not have to go back. But it's still a very tricky position there. The mules are in danger, but with a nice position, Battle Pants is able to select all of his workers. The Reapers get into the main base. They won't be able to get any damage, I don't think, but at least Battle Pants is able to see exactly what is going on. He sees the lair timing. And he sees the links moving out of the base as well. Ooh, the Reapers get a bit caught, and at least one of them, both of them will be going down. So that's a bit unfortunate there. And looks like Belisarius is ready to attack. Baneling speed is still on the way. Not even halfway done. But nonetheless, we will be making Banelings. There are a lot of Marines here. I mean, we don't have anything else, really. What the... What? Okay, we have 1 tank on the way. I was like, where's the factory? It's hidden there behind the starboard. We have 1 tank on the way, but it's for now it's just Marines. So when all these Banelings move in, if Battle Pants does not snipe the... Oh, actually he moves out. It's about to drop, but the Banelings roll straight into the mineral line. Oh, the SCVs! Waiting SCVs go down as they struggle to get out of the mineral line. The whole mineral line goes down. The rest of the Banelings looks like most of them will get sniped, but some of them still connect with the Marines, and most of the army is going down. The Zerglings are finishing the rest. The tank will hold the fort for the time being, but entire mineral going down. Some of the SCVs are actually being evacuated with the medivac. Even the orbital is quite low on health. It was a great attack for Belisarius. Definitely worth this entire Lingbane army, I think. And he's not stopping. Belisarius is making more Zerglings. He also has Hydra then already. The Hydra upgrades are on the way. Doesn't have any Hydras yet. But once they do pop out, they will be upgraded. Meanwhile, what is Battle Plan's plan? He was planning to drop those Marines, but he lost all of them. He does have 2 tanks now. He was able to remake a bit of an army. And I mean, Man with Gun is still pretty scary, especially when they have Medivacs to support. So it looks like Battle Plans may try to push out. He also still hasn't landed his 3rd base. He does have the orbital ready. But it looks like it is time to put some pressure on the Zerg. We have Lingbane to defend. We have Nidus and Lurker then, both on the way. But we have to defend the threat that comes right now. Nice position from Belisarius. Already getting ready, setting up. And will Battle Pants walk into the trap? Again, as I said, the one scary thing is that the army of the Zerg is not that big, as Belisarius is focusing on transitioning, but right now he's making more links and they will be out before Battle Pants attack. This one tank is left alone. The second tank is assisting these marines. They're trying to find a base, but there's none here. It looks like they maybe try to walk into the natural, but oh, this is really scary. Banings are trying to find their way, but the Zergling gets on top of the tanks. One of them goes down, the second will as well, and there's more Zerglings coming. A lot of Lingbane going the way of Battle Plans. The Medivacs are escaping and they see the army coming the way of the Terran. We have a depot wall, but with all these Banelings, it doesn't stand a chance. We have one more tank, but the SCVs are completely defenseless, and the entire Mineral will be going down once again. But actually looks, a lot of the SCVs were saved. They're quite low on health, so they could be finished off. The Medivacs are trying their best to save them. At the same time, the army is going down. More Zerglings are queued in. They're slowly coming to this base, but they're coming one by one, which is definitely an advantage for Battle Plans, as he's able to deal with most of them. But as he was being distracted on the front, we do have a Nidus Worm in the main base. It's actually kind of covered by the orbital of the Terran. And the Zerglings are popping out in the main base. Battle Plans is forced to drop his forces into the main to defend. At the same time, we have another attack coming. Once again, going for the main base, I assume. Or, sorry, the natural. Yeah, Belisarius morphing the Banelings. The Mega! Thank you for the sub. Thank you for resubscribing. It's been so long since I've seen the Mega in this chat. Long time no see. Yeah, the Mega, one of the Latin American players. Anyway, we have another drop from Battle Plans, but he is getting surrounded by the Zerglings. I mean, Marines generally do well versus Zerglings, but they are starting to suffer losses, and we have another Nidus in the main base. Yeah, we have 3 drones falling down, so there is a little bit of a damage, but not quite finding what he wants. And ooh, we have Lurker in this Nidus, and all of the production of the Terran is in danger. GG is called. Belisarius will be taking game number 1. Yeah, very intense game from Belisarius. Just, you know, never stop attacking. Constantly pressure the opponent. And, you know, Belisarius just never let go, and he was able to overpower the Terrans slowly but surely. And when the Lurkers move in, you know, a lot of Terrans in the chat will tell you, when the Lurkers move in, That's it. But yeah, again, quick shout out to the Mega. A Latin American player, frequent watcher of our channel. It's good to see you again. And thank you for subscribing. Okay, our players were ready. We are ready, I think. I hope. Let's go into game number 2. Yes, I will actually get something to drink. Hold on. Okay, I am back. And I didn't even spill the drink. Definitely. But we are now back into our best of 3 semi-finals of Duckling Open number 124, and we are looking at the first of our players, spawning in the left bottom corner of Dynasty LE. It is the blue Terran player from Australia. It's Battle Pants. And across the map, the opponent, it is the red Zerg player from Poland. I believe representing the Void, it is Belisarius. Once again going for that 15 hatch with a gastric. And yeah, we'll see how this map goes. Again, this is we have a loser's map pick. So this is the choice of Battle Pants. He decided to play on Dynasty, and I do wonder if he has something prepared for this map. It's definitely the least liked map by the Zerg because of these gold minerals, because Zerg can't really take this base because, you know, it gets constantly harassed by other races, and also if the other races take this base, Zerg can't really harass it because, you know, Zerglings don't shoot. To be fair, Zealots don't either, but you have other options early in the game. For Zerg, it is a little bit harder. So the Mega is getting destroyed by Italian Summer. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, it's the south of Europe. It can definitely get quite extreme, from what I heard. But yeah, you should definitely play in our EU stuff. Tomorrow we have Sparkling Tuna Cup at 11 AM CEST. So if you happen to have some free time in the before noon on a Sunday, then yeah, make sure to sign up. Again, Sparkling Tuna Cup is open to everyone, no matter what region they come from, no matter what rank they play at. So there are a lot of pros, but there are also a lot of amateurs, you know? Everybody can sign up. Ooh, the Reaper actually snipes the first 2 more. Very nice. It's like a little victory, but it's still a bit of a victory. Oh, and looks like the drone. Oh, I think Battle Pants didn't actually see the drone, but the drone got scared nonetheless, and Belisarius goes for a bailing nest instead. That was, like, I feel like Belisarius could get lucky and just slip by, but he decided not to try his luck, and, you know, he decided to delay his third base for a little bit. Instead, Belisarius actually taking that gold base that I've been talking about, and I mean, we'll see how that works for him, because again, Terran can harass it really easily. So he has to invest into some defense quite soon, and he is investing into roaches. Oh, the Reaper actually getting stuck between the drones, and it will be taken down by the Queen without taking drones down. It also did not scout the Roach Warren. So that's very important to know, that the Reaper was not able to see what's going on. I think it saw the lair because it's been morphing for a while. So at least there is some like a little bit of a tell that something is going on. But didn't quite get the critical information there. So just like with Captain Fish, we have a Battle Banshee. Battle Banshee? What? Battle Banshee, yes! Oh, my brain is so broken. We have a Cloak Banshee coming from Battle Pants. Why did that break me? Amazing. Meanwhile, the roaches are standing watch, making sure the Hellions don't get in. Again, this is a very dangerous position though, because the Hellions can shoot through the minerals, so if any drones try to mine here... Yeah! Belisario is well aware of what can happen. He has these roaches chasing around the Hellions, but he's not quite able to get them. Single roach kinda separated from the flock. As the main roach army is going for the natural base, there are two Cyclones and Banshees as well, but not much else, and actually this may be very dangerous for Battle Pants. Belisario is very dedicated to this attack. His main the main army of Battle Pants is these Hellions that are across the map. So even if the Banshees and the Cyclones eventually deal with the roaches, like a lot of the SCVs will be going down. 7 in total already dead. Now the Hellions are coming back. Again, they don't do a lot of damage against the roaches though, and the Zerglings are here to reinforce. Yeah, I mean, this will be fended off eventually, but 9 SCVs? Not ideal. That said though, roaches also are quite costly. So, you know, in the end, I'm not quite sure who was victorious here, because 11 roaches is nothing to scoff at, and again, you have to invest a lot of resources in that, so to lose all of them is also not ideal. We do see though that Belisario is changing his strategy completely. He is going for his fire. One of the Banshees actually flies too close to the sun and is taken down by the Spore. The other one is taking a lot of damage. For 2 drones, that's definitely not worth it. So we have a lot of static defense here to make sure that the gold base mining can be commencing. Meanwhile, Zerglings are checking on this gold base, but the gold base has not been mined yet, and there's definitely no access through here. Oh, as we have a lot of mules. A lot. But yeah, I do wonder what Belisario is planning to do with that Spire, because yeah, we have not seen him use it yet today. And he is going for Mutas. I mean, Mutas are a great harassment tool. They're a bit less effective in a straight-on fight. There are also some mines on the way, so... I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I feel like a lot depends on how Belisario uses them. Because if he goes for harassment, so as his banks are completely scouted, if he goes for harassment, it's entirely possible that he's able to get some really good damage done. That he's able to distract Battle Pants. But also he himself has to constantly be on, you know, on top of his game, making sure that his bases are not losing drones. Making sure that he's not under attack. As this Bane Bass is coming in, the depots are not even finished and the Banings will walk in. All of them are wasted on the army though, but at the same time, the Mutas are now here. They have dealt with the entire mineral line of the gold base, and they are dealing damage to the orbital as well. It looks like they will take it down. The Zerglings are still in the natural as well. And 22 SCVs are going down. The Hellbats are now there, but I feel like it's a bit too late. The Zerglings are taking over this base. They're dealing with the rest of the Terran army. And the mutas have not been dealt with. They are now killing all the SCVs in the main base. There's not a single turret here. The marines are now coming up, but that's after all the SCVs have been killed. Literally one SCV is alive. It's that one SCV that's mining gas, and GG is called. Belisarius will be taking the series 2-0 and advancing to the finals. GG, well played. Again, really intense games there from Belisarius. He like, it's not like cheesy aggressive necessarily, but like he really focuses on pressuring the opponent. Like he makes sure that there isn't too much time for his opponent to breathe, and yeah, he's just able to snowball eventually and take down his opponents. And yeah, very well played there for Belisarius, and he is advancing to the finals of today's tournament. And with that, we know who the finalists are. Let us quickly look at our bracket. As a reminder, Radar did take down Tortuga 2-0, and Belisarius took Battle Pants 2-0 as well. So yeah, with that, our next series will be Radar versus Belisarius, and that is our grand finals for today. As a reminder, both of our players who have lost in the semifinals, both Tortuga and Battle Plants, will be receiving their own prize as well, thanks to our contributor. Thanks to, let me quickly, I need to double check the name to make sure that I say it correctly. Thanks to Chance SC. Thanks for donating to our Macherino. Both of our semifinalists who have not moved on to the finals will also be receiving the prize. But in the meantime, we will take some time to set up these finals as well as the random raffle. So I will see you guys in 5 minutes. Make sure to restock on your snacks, restock on your drinks, and be here to make sure to find out who's the raffle winner and who's the tournament winner for this month. See you soon. Welcome to Duckling Open number 124, our monthly Diamond and Below tournament by the CranKy Ducklings. We are currently in the finals of our monthly tournament, but before we get to that, there's something else that we have to settle first. For those who know, you know. For those who don't know, it is our random raffle. Every player who has played a full series in this tournament, again, it has to be a full series, so if you give up after game 1 or, you know, if you go to the ace match but don't want to play game 3, that unfortunately doesn't count. But if you have played a full series, at least one full series in the tournament, you are eligible for $5 random participant raffle. And we are about to roll today's winner. We have 10 eligible players. And now, the winner for today is... Drumroll, please. I don't have a drumroll. Is that good for... The winner today is... Battle Pants. Hold on. There you go, the chat favorite Battle Pants will be leaving this tournament $5 richer. So Battle Pants, if you are in the chat, make sure to join the Macherino page as well, as there is a bit of a prize pool for you. And yeah, congratulations! He was one of the new signups for our tournament, and you know, he will be leaving this tournament with a bit of a prize pool today. And who knows, maybe next time it could be you if you sign up to one of these tournaments, because again, both our amateur and our professional tournaments do have this random participant prize. You may be eligible for winning this, and maybe the luck will smile in your favor. So once again, congratulations to Battle Pants. And now, we are ready for our finals. As a reminder, it is Rudder versus Belisarius. The first map is already decided. Now I will proceed to make the lobby. And we will be starting our best of 5 finals. We had single elimination today, so there will be no point advantage for either of the players. We start with a fresh best of 5 series. And we'll see who's the best for this map. Our players making sure that everything works. So we'll give them a moment to sort it out. Meanwhile, I hope the chat managed to get their snacks in the break. Also, since we are here, in 4 minutes, World Team League for today starts. So if you want to take part in the prediction game, that you have 4 minutes to post your predictions in the Discord chat. ! Discord if you are not there yet. Unfortunately, I won't be able to participate as I am streaming this tournament and I didn't quite have the time. But if you want to participate, then make sure to post those predictions there. Other than that, we will be streaming World Team League right after this. It will be a catch-up cast, so the stream itself won't have a delay, but the games, you know, will be a bit behind, as we will slowly try to catch up. Basically, we will cut the breaks and we will just slowly catch up to what is currently happening as soon as possible. But we will finish this tournament first. The Duckling Open will finish first, and right after we will be switching. Light will be coming on the show, and he will be bringing World Team League for you. Of course, that is not the only broadcast for today. After World Team League, we have the SC2 Safe House as well. So if you want to tune into that fun invitational tournament, then make sure to stay tuned for that as well. It's not just a tournament. We will be casting the games, but we will not just be casting the games, because we will also be showing the Macherino milestones events, because essentially the way that SC2 Safe House was set up was that there were these stretch goals that once each of the goals will be reached, the casters who are at the location in Las Vegas, they will be doing a series of challenges, I believe. From what I heard, there's a Cheeto challenge or something like that. So there will be a lot of like fun activities between the people who are live in Las Vegas, and yeah, we will be broadcasting that as well. But for now, we still have one more series to finish in Duckling Open. Looks like there are some issues with the stream currently, so... Okay, looks like we will be restarting the stream, so give me a quick second.